This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. How many of these moments do we have to face in the House of Representatives before we take a colloquial vote of no confidence in the Republican Party? When are Republicans going to start waking up to the nonsense that is being inflicted upon the country because of their votes? These are the people they have chosen to lead us. These are the people they've given the majority in the House of Representatives. Yesterday, James Comer and Moskowitz, Jared Moskowitz, somebody who voted for the censure of Rashida Tlaib, unhappy about that. But he's a pretty decent communicator, and he sits on the House Oversight Committee. And yesterday, he pointed out the hypocrisy of James Comer investigating things that he himself is guilty of. And there was a long back and forth, over 6 minutes of back and forth. I have cut this clip to about half of that. But I want you to watch what takes place here, that James Comer is unhinged. He's screaming bullshit this, bullshit that, while chairman of the committee, into the microphone designated for the chairman of the committee. And he's dead to rights guilty. I will highlight how he's guilty. That what he's saying is lies. That all he's doing is trying to benefit Donald Trump's reelection campaign in 2024 and help the House maintain power. It's Benghazi on steroids is what this is. Anyway, watch this clip. Again, I've pared it down. There's a timer. If you've already seen it or you're tired of listening to them, just watch the time and fast forward through. But it is pretty incredible if you haven't seen it.
The chairman mentioned something. Actually, he said that the Biden administration can't have it both ways. And I agree with that, Mr. Chairman, which is why I'm happy to yield you some of my time today, Mr. Chairman, because I think you owe it to the American people to explain why you've gone on Fox News and told people that while the president was out of office, he had a loan with his brother, and in a way they were evading taxes. It has come out in the public that you also do business with your brother with potential loans. And so since you have framed that and manipulated that with the American people, that Joe Biden did something wrong when he wasn't in office, I just would like to know if you would like to use some of my time.
I would love it.
Okay.
You retweeted that story. Completely false. I've never loaned my brother one penny. My father, who was a dentist, had some farmland. He died, and my brother couldn't afford, he wanted to sell it, but he wanted to keep it in the family, so I bought it from my brother. That story that you tweeted also said I had a shell company. That is bullshit. Never loaned my brother money. Don't have an LLC. But you and Goldman, who is Mr. Trust Fund, continue to try to
reclaiming my time.
No, I'm not going to give you your time back. We can stop the clock. You all continue to, you look like a Smurf here just going around and all this stuff. Now listen.
Mr. Chairman,
I'm going to tell you something.
Hold on. If we're not on time,
we can disinformation.
You have gone on TV and said the president did something illegal. You're doing stuff with your brother. The American people have the same questions. Why should they believe you? Why should they believe you? Why should they believe you? There's a different rule for the president. There's a different rule for you. Why should they believe what you're saying, Mr. Chairman? Why? You go on Fox News and say loans and deals are a way to evade taxes. We don't know that's what you're doing or not. We don't know. We have no idea. We're supposed to take your word for it. But when the president says something,
you've already been proven a liar, Mr. Moskowitz.
What's that?
You've already been proven a liar.
Who's proven me a liar? You?
Yes.
Your word means nothing, Mr. Chairman.
Go to my hometown. There's a camera crew there today, an opposition research crew there today.
Mr. Chairman, this seems to have gotten under your skin.
I'll pay for your ticket.
I think the American people have lots of questions, Mr. Chairman, and perhaps you should sit maybe for a deposition.
I will be happy. I will sit with Hunter Biden and Jim Biden, and we can go over our LLC.
That'll be great. I'll make sure the ranking member is happy that you'll sit at a table. I'll wrap it up quickly. All I'm saying, Mr. Chairman, is you may have done nothing wrong. No,
but you tweeted that I did.
I'm claiming my time, Mr. Chairman. There's a story out there, right? Because we believe everything in the media, like when you go on Fox News and say things and everyone says that they're true with innuendos and ifs and maybe, the Biden family, the crime family, all this nonsense. But when it happens to you, it's fake news. And what I'm saying is there should be the same. I'm reclaiming my time, Mr. Chairman. There should be the same standard. You said at the beginning of this hearing, the Biden administration can't have it both ways. Neither can you, Mr. Chairman.
Again, these are the adults in the room. These are the people who have been granted power. The power of subpoena, the power of investigation, the power of the purse being in the House of Representatives. That's where any appropriations bills start, is there. That's an immense amount of responsibility for people who cannot govern. Roger Sollenberger is responsible for the investigation that has been uncovered, the reporting relative to James Comer and his brother and their self-dealing. And he had this to say on Twitter: I broke the Comer story. He's correct that it wasn't a loan. I never called it a loan. But Joe Biden's brotherly loan was repaid, canceled out, no benefit. Comer, however, enriched his brother $18,000, attaching his holding LLC to the transaction. Unclear on gift tax implications. Point of the story is that Comer is investigating Joe Biden for getting no benefit from a loan to his brother. Stack that against Comer, who also had a 20-year running conflict of interest with his family's industry. Should Comer be subpoenaed for helping his brother financially? Should Biden? Here's the story. There are differences between Comer and Biden, and I don't think those differences necessarily advantage Comer. But on the whole, they both just help their brothers. Comer's conflict of interest, however, seems like a different matter. And then finally, note, shell companies aren't innately bad, but Comer uses the term as a boogeyman to imply corruption. Map it onto Comer, and he gets defensive. He could explain this honestly for what it is, and I don't think anyone would go to pitchforks, but it might also undercut his investigation. Of course, it would undercut his investigation when the same mechanisms are at play in his own life and his own dealings with his brother that are at play with Joe Biden and his brother. I will link below to this entire article from Daily Beast. I would suggest you read it. Make yourself aware of what exactly is at stake here, whether you're Democrat or Republican or independent. And if you're just interested in what is going on, hypocrisy is rampant. This investigation is meritless into Joe Biden. It's absolutely meritless and being run by a man who's guilty of the same thing that he's accusing Joe Biden of. And then when called out on the floor of the House by a colleague, he freaks out and it's bullshit this and bullshit that. I'm one of the biggest landowners in my Kentucky area. Idiots. Dangerous, unfortunately. If they were just idiots, it would be one thing. But they're dangerous. And they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing as representatives in Congress. Anyway, what do you think? I'd love to know. You can call. Leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, as always, daily@dollemore.com. Leave a comment below. Like this video. Share this video. Make sure you're subscribed. Trying to get to 600,000 subscribers. Whenever that happens. I'm not doing it every video yet, but I'm getting excited. Anyway, follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook. I'd love to see you there. And if you appreciate what I do, think about supporting my work. You can become a channel member. You can go to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. All those are great ways. I love you. I appreciate you. Thanks for engaging. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.